friends, and welcome to Between Sundays. I'm your host, Tim Meunier, and I'm really glad
Today
you're
we're
here.
talking about music ministry, but not just in a general sense. We're talking about our music ministry, our stories, our people, and specifically we're celebrating 20 years of Belle Canto, which is kind of wild. And this conversation is layered in the best ways possible. I'm a part of Belle Canto, my sister is here, and she's a part of Chancel Choir, and our director of music ministries, who is also my father-in-law, is here with us today. So this is very much a family conversation, and I'm really excited for you to listen in on this. So welcome, Becky and Tim.
Thank you.
Hi.
First, we need to say what Belle Canto is. Belle Canto is not a ringing group, not a handbell.
Yep.
It's a women's vocal ensemble.
Yes, yeah. I don't ring bells. Nope.
You could if you wanted.
Could if you want to.
I-
Both could if you want.
I know.
The music there scares me. I'll be honest with you. The handbell ensemble scares the living daylights out of me.
Count to 4.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
4, 3, or 6.
It's true.
You're just paying attention to like one note of the staff.
Also true. Yes, we
Or
should try it
multiple.
sometime.
Note on the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So, Becky.
Unless
Yes.
unless you're Corey and you play like 6 of them at a time.
yes. So this already feels like a really funny atmosphere because, again, we're family and we've been talking about this concert and Belle Canto and Chancel Choir and Journeyman for months now. But I want to start with asking you, when you hear 20 years of Belle Canto, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a long time. And when you think about the group, there's 9 singers in the group. 6 of them are part of the original Belle Canto.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
They've been doing this for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, they all sing in Chancel Choir. And so some of them have been doing Chancel Choir for even longer than that.
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess what I think of is dedicated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, I look up to a lot of the women. I always hoped that I'd get asked to be in Belle Canto, so I was quite geeked out a couple years ago when I got to flip the script from Chancel Choir to Belle Canto.
Mhm.
That was fun for me.
This is my moment.
Yeah.
Yay.
It kind of feels like that, but then there's other days where it's like, this is why I'm here. I can't remember this
I-
note.
Well, the nice thing about Belle Canto, I get to work with them almost like a voice lesson.
Yeah.
I get to focus on just a small group as opposed to a larger group.
Mhm.
And so I think one of the things that people comment a lot about Belle Canto is their beautiful blend.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the things that a group is about.
Yeah,
You know,
20 years in the making.
And I
Yeah.
get to spend time with them, and
Yes.
shape it and be a wee bit fussy. But
Yeah, I will say, as somebody who's experienced Chancel Choir and Belle Canto, I feel like I can ask questions in Belle Canto rehearsals that I can't ask in Chancel Choir. And it's not a confidence thing. It's not a comfort level. It's just, there are a lot of people in Chancel Choir. He doesn't have the time. And so
Yeah.
I always go through those
Yeah.
questions like, is this really worth stopping everything to ask right now?
Yeah.
yeah,
You can inconvenience 9 people rather than inconveniencing 40 people.
Well, I feel like in Belle Canto, if I have a question, chances are someone else in the room has the same
That's
question.
fair, yeah.
same could be true though at Chancel Choir.
That's also true.
Yeah.
So
I should just learn to
it's
ask the
something
questions.
Shy to ask. Case in point.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Yes, I should just not be shy. So, and I think one of the ways that this conversation is really, really unique is that we've all experienced this music ministry in beautifully different ways. You and me, Becky and I grew up in it under Jackie. We've gone from choir rehearsals to special music programs to musicals, all of the things. And it's just always been a part of our lives as long as we can remember.
yeah.
I don't remember never being in music ministry.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was 5 years old, I think, when we started singing in Jackie's choir.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, I was so shy and sheepish when I first started singing. Ironically, it's just very cool to see, how far we've grown with it.
Yeah.
Especially like how far like you and I have grown with it, and maybe other people that we've grown up with.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Just to see how it has impacted all of us differently.
Mm-hmm. Well, but you and I are one of the only ones left that we've grown up with. We
That's
don't.
true.
Everyone else has moved on to bigger and maybe better things. Maybe not. I don't know.
I'm happy with my continuance in the music ministry
Yeah.
here.
I am too.
I mean, I've never not been happy with it. I've been involved as much as I can throughout the years with all the plays, with all of the children's choirs,
Mm-hmm.
and other little ensembles that we've done in the past years. There's been a lot, and there's not a single bit of it that I regret doing. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people that we grew up with, though they're not here anymore, I don't think they regret growing up with that kind of background.
No, because I know I get to see some of them at family camp, and they've all said the same thing. And we hear some of that when they come back and get to sing it Hallelujah,
Yeah.
the Hallelujah chorus at Christmas time. And there's those core people who come back on Christmas Eve simply because that's their chance
Yeah.
to come back into the choir loft.
Mhm.
So that's one of your earliest memories growing up here. What's one of your earliest memories when you started here?
Started here?
Yes, which I know was a
What
while
year?
ago.
What year did you start?
1978.
Okay.
Yes, you're going on 50 years almost.
50 years. This is year 48.
Mm-hmm.
But in 1978, when I started, I was the youngest one in the room.
Yeah.
So that was intimidating. Every time somebody leaned over and whispered to somebody else, I thought, oh no, what
Yes. Yeah, I've experienced that.
That doesn't affect me anymore.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, so, I've learned more as the director of the music program than I did in school.
Yeah. Mhm.
It was on-the-job training.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, and we've done things that I could never have imagined that we would have done. I mean, singing at Carnegie Hall twice.
Yes.
Lincoln Center, Chicago,
Well,
I mean.
Yeah.
So my earliest memories could not have envisioned
Where you're
where
at.
we'd end up.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Hmm.
What's it been like to pour into music ministry for so many years and then watch people like Becky and I grow up in it? What's that been like?
That's gratifying, but what's really gratifying is that they continue it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And not just, I think of all the voices and all the kids who were in Wesley Choir and so forth, and I wonder about some of them, especially as, are you still doing anything musically? What a waste if you're not, and so I'm really very gratified when I see people come back
Yeah.
and continue on.
Mhm.
If not here, at least somewhere.
Somewhere, yes.
So, I mean, yeah, why not continue?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
I-
like Grandma always used to say, because I wasn't a very athletic kid. And let's
Look at me.
let's not judge.
Yeah.
But I wasn't very athletic growing up, and I think they were kind of okay with that. And Grandma used to say like that singing is something you can do for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
Like with sports, there's only so much of a time frame that you can compete or play, because eventually your body just kind of gives up on you.
Yeah, there's physical limitations.
Yeah. And so I'm just extremely grateful for the years I've had in the music ministry and everything I've done musically, even like in and outside of the church. I don't think growing older that I will ever stop
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
fade.
I think of some of the people in choir now. I mean, I inherited them when I started.
Yeah.
They were in choir before me,
Yeah.
and some of them are upper 80s, and it's just been a major part of their life.
Yeah.
In fact, I've had one choir member said they regretted that they waited so long to join choir.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've heard that a couple times. And I love music ministry. I've never had nothing but good things to say about it here. It's just, it
Yeah.
warms my heart.
When I sit in the congregation in the summer,
Yeah.
it drives me nuts actually, because it's like I need to do something. I need to have an active role in worship.
Yeah.
And music ministry gives many people an active role in worship.
Yeah.
Which is nothing against contemporary worship, but contemporary worship a lot of times is a set group of people up front, and
Yes.
they do it. And the potential of the people in the congregation isn't utilized.
Yes. Yeah.
And so in a choral situation, you're each taking an active role in worship,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not just a spectator
Yes.
in the congregation.
Yeah. I think right here's a great place to plug in that before COVID, we were a 70-person choir.
Yeah.
When we
And
came
now
to
we're
Carnegie Hall
still-
the first time we were the largest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're still hitting about 35, 40 people in choir in the
Yeah.
music program, which is just absolutely wonderful. Here in our area,
Yeah.
we're still considered the biggest.
In Jackson.
Yeah, and I think that's wonderful.
Mhm.
So if you're looking for a church choir family, this is a place to go. Come look.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does this season feel like for you, seeing all of these different timelines overlap in terms of those that you've inherited, those you've seen grow up in the church?
I'm not quite timeline, but
Yeah, so like Becky and I started, and we're 30 and 27.
You had to think about that.
I did,
Do the
yes.
math.
And then you've got people who were here and seasoned before you even started. And so, how does this feel to be kind of one of the biggest ministries in our church that's an intergenerational opportunity?
isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Isn't it cool that, I mean, George is still in high school.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're thankful because he lowers the demographic.
Yes.
But that intergenerally we can work together.
Yes.
And grace to present something beautiful in worship.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, and that all those generations work together so well.
Yeah.
They come together so well. Yeah.
Not to mention just the opportunities that George may have, but also that you and I know have had, where I'm so close with some of the older people because I got to sit next to them, or I
Yeah.
got to know them differently between music pieces and rehearsals where we shouldn't have been talking.
And they are
all
some of the
things.
nicest people in the world, too.
Yes.
I shouldn't say this because I can't really quote it, and I'm pulling it out of the air a little bit. I've seen so many things online that says the unique thing about choral situation is that as a group we even end up breathing at the same
Yeah.
tempo, and our hearts are
Mhm.
beating at the same tempo because we're so pulled together in doing the right thing. I mean,
Isn't that beautiful?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's circle back to that in a second.
Okay.
But I want to ask you, what has music ministry meant to your faith personally?
It's given my faith a voice.
Oh, I like that.
That's really
I mean,
wonderful.
how would I express my faith if not for music?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are other ways, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is the way that speaks to me, and
Mhm.
I think it's representative even in the music that I select for the groups to sing.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm very text driven.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a sing-songy anthem, that doesn't tell you anything. But some of the stuff, and even the concert we got coming up, it's all very text-driven.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And deep.
You do a wonderful job of putting together concerts and picking pieces.
I
You
think so,
find the
too.
best ones.
Yeah, like there's so much music out there that I would not have known about had you not brought it to us.
Yeah.
Anything
Mhm.
with like Dan Forrest or Craig Courtney, they're just great composers, and their music and their text is just wonderful.
My summer is spent researching, finding out what's new.
Yes.
I mean, when I first started, we used to do Orlando Gibbons, Bach, Beethoven, and Mendelssohn. But now we're doing current composers. living
Yeah.
Composers, and there's some really good stuff out there.
Yes. Yeah.
And luckily I get to choose what music's in the concert, so I picked a lot of my favorite pieces.
Yes. You've picked a lot of my favorite ones too.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Very nice.
So circling back to concert,
I was gonna say, what was your question? I forgot already.
what has music ministry meant to your faith personally?
Oh, I mean, well, I agree with it. It's given my faith a voice. And I've always kind of had this motto for myself that I sing for God because He gave me my voice. And
Yeah.
I don't know how else to like say it really. I mean, it's just like music is the feeling I have that kind of pulls me to my faith.
Mm-hmm.
And it has always been that way. I feel like the two are just intertwined, and they have been that way my whole life. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a way to make it like it makes you vulnerable in a way you're not expecting to be vulnerable
Yeah.
to, I think.
And I think having this church family and this environment has been really great way to grow in that musical and that faith, because like I've said, I've been singing since I was 5, but I mean, I'm 27 now. It's crazy to think like, wow, like so many years has gone by, and I'm still here, and I'm still growing, and still loving everything that I sing and do.
Mhm.
Well,
And
the interesting thing too is you both have soloist potential.
yes,
The majority of chance choir, they would be the first to say they're not solo material.
Yeah.
But look what they can do
yeah.
with others.
And
you know.
and that's a huge thing for me too, because when I first started singing, I was so shy, and I still think I do have a little bit of an introverted personality.
Oh yeah.
And even just like starting to solo and, you know, put myself out there and be the center of attention,
Yeah.
that's still a nerve-wracking feeling, but it has gotten so much easier for me throughout the years to be that person, and knowing that also me singing is helping other people grow in their musical faith.
Mhm.
And let me ask you something, Tim.
Uh-oh.
Do you no, just curious, do you ever still get stage fright,
Ooh.
either as a performer or as a conductor?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think that's natural for everybody.
Yeah.
My anxiety level grows Saturday night. I think, oh, geez, what's tomorrow? And some Sundays are simple. Some Sundays are very complicated. Yeah, I do. I get more apprehensive. Just wonder. I hope all the pieces fall together
Yeah.
correctly.
Mhm.
There's so much that could go wrong sometimes, but there's so much that always goes around
Yeah.
well.
And that's a huge learning thing for me, is it's so much of my personality is just like, yeah, I'll do it. I got it. It's
Yeah.
no big deal. And then, like you said the night before,
Reality,
it's
yes.
like, oh no, did I practice enough? Am I gonna sound okay?
Why did I say yes?
Yeah, exactly.
And
And it's
I
just
think life is all about adding experiences
Mhm.
and that tiered effect. You just grow in confidence.
Yeah.
And
you're challenging
people
yourself.
say I'll never do public speaking, but if you do it and you do it and you've done it,
Yeah.
the mystery goes out of it, and it's like, all right, some of us like to script it and prepare it.
Yes.
That's me too. I don't take chance of just wheeling it, but it's just a matter of just doing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and the mystery's gone from it. You're much
Yeah.
more comfortable.
And something Jackie told me when I was a kid too, just starting out in children's choir, when I was so afraid to sing in front of people, she would say, like, nobody's going to remember this in 10 years. I'm like, oh yeah, good point. So-
You will.
I mean, if I let it go, yes, I will forget about it. And
Yeah.
it's hard to let go of mistakes sometimes.
Mhm.
But I
Been
think
there,
part
done
of
that.
growing in your faith and knowing that this is such a understanding and patient congregation, and that if you do make a mistake, it's not the end of the world.
Mhm.
I worry about mistakes made by the choir, but I worry about mistakes made by me.
Mhm.
Do I cue them in wrong? Or did I not cue them in when I should have?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
That's true. If I make a mistake, really the one person I'm worried about picking up on it is you, because you know.
I always giggle too. I try really hard if I know that especially in Belle Canto, because again, a smaller ensemble, you can hear if I've messed up, if you're waiting for my part. And I always, if I think I messed that up, I don't make eye contact with you because I know that you're looking at me if I messed up, and then I'll start laughing and really mess it all up. So yeah, if I'm avoiding eye contact, that's why.
Yeah.
It's because I think I might start laughing.
I think something I haven't learned also throughout the years is how to hide my emotions on my face, because I can also pick up when other people make mistakes.
Yeah.
And then when we're performing, I feel like I show it very obviously on my face, like, oh, they saying that wrong,
Yeah.
or I did something wrong.
Yeah.
And I have to be a little more
Which is
sly about
interesting that you bring that up, because you mentioned in rehearsal the other day that we have to work really hard to feel joyful and to look joyful, and that doesn't just happen when you show up in the room the day to do the concert. You have to go through rehearsals doing that, and I think that's one of the things you and I do wrong, is that when we're at rehearsal we're like, oh crap,
I'm tired.
Yeah.
That should show on your face.
Yes.
You're singing something about joy and exuberance. That should look on your face.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've been nagging for
Yes.
years, and then continue to nag.
Yeah.
It's gotta look. You gotta look the part.
Mhm.
You gotta sell it.
Yes. Yeah. People will remember how you feel, how you made them feel, not necessarily what you said in the text.
Oftentimes
I
when
feel.
I hear other choirs or see other choirs, I'll focus on that person that's looking out at the congregation, that's looking out at me. And that person, I'll watch that person the whole concert because they're communicating to me.
Yeah.
And the others who just kind of blank look on their face, I don't pay them any attention because they're not communicating with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's our role as choral people, is to communicate to the congregation. And if you're not showing it on your face, then you're not doing your job, so to speak.
Yeah. Let's talk about Belle Canto and this concert coming up. Belle Canto, 20 years is really a big deal. And you and I were 10 and 7 when this group started.
Yeah. Put it in perspective.
Yeah, like that's a
crazy.
big deal. So for someone who might not know, what makes the Belle Canto Women's Ensemble unique?
Couple things. Again, of the 9 singers, 6 are original.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, I think blend.
Yeah.
They're blend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a select group, so I picked them. And yeah, and some of them are possessive of their spot in Belle Canto.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just they're very connected with one another.
Mm-hmm. And what does it look like from your perspective? I mean, you're not a member of Belle Canto, but you get to experience Belle Canto. So what's that been like?
I think it's really nice. And like I've said, I've been so involved in so much over the years that I think it's really nice to just sit back and listen to somebody else perform and perform beautifully every time. And I admire every single one of the women that is in Belle Canto because they're just so wonderful musicians. And like you said, they're very admirable. And
Yeah,
the group
they're-
itself is just admirable.
They're just so fun to be around.
Yeah.
They work hard. One member, she brings her tape recorder.
Yeah.
In rehearsals, and records the rehearsal so that she can go home and experience the rehearsal again. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, wow.
That's homework. That's
homework.
dedication.
Yeah, there are a couple of others of us who get on JW Pepper and try to find a recording of it to do that so that we can hear the part better or
At least hear it in its totality.
yeah. On occasion,
Supposed to sound like.
yeah,
Yeah.
every once in a while I've even asked you or Corey because again, I don't play piano. I don't even know which key I'm supposed to click. But I've sometimes even come to you and I'm like, I cannot hear the starting note of this second soprano part.
Yeah.
Can you hit it for me so that I can know what I'm listening for when I come back to rehearsal the next day?
Mhm.
Because sometimes I can't hear them.
My job is to teach you where you can find that note in the piece.
Yeah.
What voice part leads you to your note?
Yes.
And what part just some of the times you just sang that note 2 beats ago, and then you go so. Don't purge your mind of that note.
Yeah.
It's like just know where to find it.
Yes.
Where to hear it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's in the accompaniment. Sometimes it's in the voice part that's leading you right to that note, or they just sang it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. What else about Belle Canto have we not touched on that we should for our listeners? I know that can be kind of a deep question.
Well, you're in Belle Canto.
I am in Belle Canto.
Yeah, what do you have to say about your experience in Belle Canto?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the thing that I appreciate the most about the group is that I am the youngest of the group. And so I feel like I'm surrounded by a bunch of mother and grandmother figures and mentors who can kind of remind me it's okay to not come into a rehearsal and have it all together. I always kind of feel bad. And then some of them are like, it's okay. Like, this is the opportunity to sit down and learn the solo or learn the piece that you didn't have time to this week. But for me, it's also the opportunity to still stay involved in the music ministry because I can't commit to the chancel choir anymore with my life schedule. And with Sunday mornings, I'm busy elsewhere. And so Belle Canto gives me that opportunity to stay connected in a way that I can't in others right now.
Well, not only are they helping you as musicians, but I think if most of them, if not everyone in that group, is a mother or grandmother.
Yes.
And so, with you being a young mother, I feel like they also have a lot of guidance in that aspect of life. So it's not just in the music ministry, there's other ministries that go with it as well.
I do feel very comfortable in the room when I know that my son has to come to rehearsal with me.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I mean, first of all, father-in-law is the
Pepe's
director.
there.
Yeah, Pepe's here and it's okay. But also, like, they just get it, right? I'm doing what I have to do. They've had to do it too. They've had to walk that road. Because motherhood, it induces a lot of anxiety.
Good to know.
Sorry, it can, but it's also absolutely beautiful and wonderful too. So surround
know.
yourself with people. I want to circle back to the longevity of this ministry. We're talking about 20 years just of Belle Canto, but there's even the bigger milestone of your 50 years. The music ministry was important before you even got here. And so the longevity and the history that this ministry itself holds is just amazing. It's really just awe-inspiring and mind-blowing. So I want to just ask, what has it meant to you, Tim, to stay in this calling for so long?
Let's see. It's interesting because when I first started, even the chancel would look different than it does now.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
There was a short wall that divides the choir loft from the dais, the minister's spot,
Mm-hmm.
and the choir grew to the point where they weren't fitting in the choir, so we moved that wall 9 feet to the congregation.
Yeah.
At one point, put the organ off to the side. It used to be in the center, and so the transformation of that space, and then we even outgrew that space. So we did a chancel revision. I mean, a brand new organ and new choir loft and that space, and that's gone through a metamorphosis. The sanctuary's gone through a metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Since my start, and because of the growth of the music ministry.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to have to put some of the choir members in the side balconies to fit. So it's nice to see, to know where we've been and to know where we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And see that there's growth, and it's good to also know that there are people who are part of all that time.
Yeah.
Who are still in choir.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, we talk a lot around here as staff members about being intergenerational and giving the past a future and acknowledging the history that we have as we move forward to cater to what culture and what people want today. And I think it's beautiful that the music ministry gets to sit right in the middle of all of it.
Oh, yeah.
And just experiences every piece of that.
they've been a constant.
Yes.
In the church.
Yeah.
And it's nice that when we do like this concert coming up,
Yeah.
We don't charge for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we welcome anybody to come and enjoy it. And hopefully they will come and hopefully they will enjoy it. I'm sure they'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it's just nice that we can give that to the community too.
Yes. Yeah. In my last episode with Pastor Brad, we talked about what some of his favorite things here at Jackson First were, and he spelled out it was the music ministry that was one of his favorite things, and he talked about the impact that it's had just in his short time here. And he also brought up that we just have a very large and very beautiful organ.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to ask you, unscripted, because I forgot to talk to you about it earlier, but what's the story behind the organ? Because that was quite a construction project at one time. 2020s, nope, this is 2026 now, so maybe earlier than that, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
In the history of our church, this is our third instrument.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, I have a picture of the original organ, the original chancel. It was an Odell and Son. I wish there was more information about that, but it's gone. And then we had the Austin organ, and that had been rebuilt at least once, maybe modifications several times. And the funny thing is, we have the arch in the front of the sanctuary, the big arch, and there was a facade of pipes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a facade. It was all fake.
Oh,
Those pipes were all fake.
no way.
For the Austin, yeah. And so when we came to redoing the chancel, we could either put more Band-Aids on the Austin, or let's look at another instrument that spoke better in the room.
Yes.
And so this instrument, the Ott organ, speaks very well in the room.
Yes.
What a centerpiece it makes when you walk into the sanctuary and see this. The organ is so large that the builder had to build it in sections because he didn't have much space in his shop.
Yeah.
So they build it in the shop, then take it apart, and then bring it and install it here. So half the organ fits in the chamber, and a lot of other pipes are in front of the chamber.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything you see speaks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
And what year was that it was built?
90.
Oh, so way before my time.
I'm really bad at dates.
It dates, yeah. I
That's
don't
all
know. I thought it was like 2002.
2001.
Okay.
I was just curious. I was just curious if I was alive when that happened.
Yeah. I know we were, because I have a very, very faint memory of sitting in the balcony and watching what I assume, again, very faint memory of the old sanctuary. And it was like a blue cloth with, I think, an angel. And I think people were doing a Christmas program. I think I don't know.
That was a screen that went across the chamber.
Oh.
It was not a screen, but it was like a tapestry. Very sheer.
Yeah.
So you still see the pipes, and then it had a Bethlehem scene at the bottom.
Oh.
So,
Good
then
memory.
I remember that.
We put that up, wires, So that was neat. I wish we had someplace to put it now.
Yeah, I think it's sitting in a storage box.
I was gonna say,
Unfortunately,
we still have that.
We do have it. We came across it.
disappeared for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we found it.
Yep.
Oh, let's use it again.
We talked about hanging it somewhere, but I can't remember where.
We'll figure it out.
The far wall.
Oh yes, now we have a TV there.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
Big star.
Put it over the TV. We don't need that.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. I remember something
That's
from,
funny. That's something that's within the.
and I couldn't
Yeah.
tell you at all what was happening. I just remember seeing
Just remember
it,
the color.
and I remember being in the balcony next to Dad when I saw it. So that's all I
Yeah.
remember.
Because there was like a wire that went, and then you pull it down and put tension things on it to really. But yeah, it was a neat banner that went up during Advent.
Mm-hmm. That's so fun. So I want to just put another plug into coming to our concert on May 3rd at 3 p.m. to celebrate Belle Canto's 20th anniversary. Chancel Choir and Journeymen are singing with us, so it's going to be a grand time. We'll also have some refreshments after the concert, and it is absolutely free, so we hope that you'll come join us for that.
There's an anthem that I
Yes.
learned when I was in school. In fact, it was written by one of my professors at Westminster Clark College. And the piece is called To Music. And I always remember the text of this anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share it with you.
Perfect.
And ask you a question. How many of us ever stop to think of music as a wondrous link with God, taking sometimes the place of prayer when words have failed us beneath the weight of care? Music that knows no country, race, or creed, but gives to each according to their need. And I love that last line.
That was absolutely special. Thank you so much for
That's very moving.
sharing that with us. Yes, I think that's a perfect way to close this episode. So thank you so much to the both of you for being here and having this conversation with me so that our listeners can hear this. And, of course, just being my family, you kind of got roped into it too. So yes. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for spending some time with me today. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend or someone who might need it this week. And don't forget to follow along so you don't miss what's coming next. We'll see you back here soon in the in-between.